Right, just got a little bit of breaking news for you concerning Manchester United and their captain, Bruno Fernandes, who's been speaking to the Players' Tribune, and he said some interesting stuff, actually. Excuse me. He said, "I love to step out at Old Trafford more than anything in the world. I believe this has always been my ultimate dream. I just want my expectations to fit with the expectations of the club." If you go talk to any fan, they will tell you the same thing. We want to compete for the league. We want to be playing Champions League football. We want to be in cup finals. That is the standard. That is what I want. Fernandes also says, "We have not been up to the standard that you deserve." We have Bruno Fernandes. He says he needs to match his ambitions. Just some breaking words from captain of Man United, Bruno Fernandes.
Never, ever a quiet day at Manchester United. Questions will be raised over Ineos's leading off football operations at the club, because the time it took for United to identify him, so heavily pursue him, battle to get him through the door to the tune of around compensation. Now, my information is that there was a feeling that the structure just wasn't working and that didn't really fit in with what the hierarchy were intending. I was told he's more passive than the other Ineos hires. Jason Wilcox and Christopher Vival had actually applied themselves better and in keeping with what Sir Jim Ratcliffe had expected from them, but that hasn't been the case. I was also told by sources close to the departing sporting director that he actually felt that he was left out of a lot of key decision making, that some of his suggestions about collaborative working and how the culture of the club could be improved, that was ignored. And it was actually quite striking, and then went to Lisbon to conduct all the talks with Sporting and to get that deal over the line. That's usually the remit of a sporting director. So it's clear from both sides that it just wasn't working well. And I suppose United will say they have taken a speedy decision instead of letting things just run on and muddle away.
With Manchester United, what's happening?
Yeah, look, there's so much activity on social media just now that it's very close, it's imminent. Some people are saying it's not so close, it's not so imminent. The information that I've got, and this is the only information I've got, is that there's been no agreement yet.
In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves across the football world, Sky Sports has confirmed the exit of Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United, marking the end of one of the most influential eras at Old Trafford in recent history. The Portuguese midfielder's departure represents far more than a transfer. It signals the closing chapter of a leader who carried the club through turbulent times with passion, creativity, and relentless commitment. Since arriving in January 2020, Bruno Fernandes quickly became the heartbeat of Manchester United. His impact was immediate and undeniable: goals, assists, leadership, and an unbreakable winning mentality. At moments when the club struggled for identity, Bruno stood tall, wearing the captain's armband with pride and demanding standards on and off the pitch. For many fans, he symbolized hope during rebuilding years. Sky Sports reports that negotiations reached a decisive conclusion, paving the way for Bruno's exit and triggering emotional reactions from supporters worldwide. Social media has been flooded with tributes, debates, and disbelief as fans reflect on unforgettable moments, last-minute winners, decisive penalties, and inspirational performances on Europe's biggest stages. Manchester United now face a defining crossroads. Replacing Bruno Fernandes is not just about filling a midfield role, it is about replacing leadership, character, and influence. His departure leaves a creative and emotional void that the club must address carefully as they look toward a new chapter. For Bruno Fernandes, this move opens a fresh journey, but his legacy at Manchester United is already cemented. He leaves as a modern icon, an era-defining figure whose impact will be remembered long after the final whistle. As the football world absorbs this monumental news, one thing is certain: Manchester United will never forget the Bruno Fernandes era.